So before we get started, do hit this button to subscribe and click this bell to be notified of new content. And do share the video if you found it helpful. Thanks. Hi all, Simon Pimenta here. In this short video, I'm going to talk about why understanding emotions and how to deal with them is really important for healing the body. So let's imagine you're about to leave your house. You open the front door and you see a hungry tiger licking its lips, looking at you. So here's what's going to happen. Your mind is going to recognize that you are in danger and you're going to have a thought. You're going to say, yikes, or something similar. There's a tiger who wants to eat me. Now that thinking is going to result in some feelings, okay? So you feel those feelings of anxiety. Now, even before that process happens of you having a thought, then having a feeling, your body has an emotional response. So you're going to feel fear, and that is going to happen more quickly than the thinking part of the brain, okay? So you can have an emotional response. That's the primitive part of the brain, which reacts very quickly in order to keep us safe. So this emotional response is an unfiltered response. Gabor Mate talks about it being an authentic response. So what is the significance of this? Well, the first thing to consider is that our emotions can tell us its truth. So for instance, when you see that tiger, the emotional body is saying, this is scary, don't like this. Obviously, your thinking is going to mirror that, but there are other situations where there is a mismatch between what is going on emotionally and what happens in our head. So let's look at a couple of examples of that. So one is, for instance, imagine you're experiencing symptoms. Your emotional response might be to feel sadness, and your thinking response might be to give that experience, the symptoms, a meaning. For some people, they start saying things to themselves like, oh no, is this ever going to go away? Am I ever going to get well? That results in feelings of anxiety, in feelings of being helpless and hopeless, feelings of stress. Whereas actually, if we're able to notice that emotional response, I feel sad right now, and sit with that, or even approach things in a mindful way, just being the observer of those feelings of sadness. Or we can just notice those feelings of sadness and just allow them to be, and knowing that they will pass. Can you see that that's very different to starting to have some thinking around those symptoms and creating all sorts of stories? And that's what we tend to do as human beings. We often learn to suppress our emotions. There may be a number of reasons for that. It may be that we've not been taught that it's safe to express our emotions. We may fear confrontation. We may learn to not value our emotions or even trust our emotions as a result of our experiences. So another example, let's say you're just about to go for rest and there's a knock on the door. Now, your emotional response may be to have a sinking feeling when you open the door and see it's someone you know, and they say to you, hey, I was in the area, so I thought I would pop in. For some people, they notice that discomfort, but they suppress it. They instantly go to their mind. And if they're a people pleaser, for instance, they might say, oh, this person has taken the trouble to come and see me. I should let them in and chat to them, make them a cup of tea, even though I don't feel like it. They may suppress those emotions that actually this doesn't feel okay for me right now. And they kind of feel that sinking feeling. They're creating tension in the body, which is just going to create stress and suppress their energy. And I'd like you to consider what would happen if you listened to your emotions and if you allowed yourself to respond to your emotions. What would it be like to say, actually, it's really nice that you've come to visit me, but right now I really can't have guests. So it'd be great if we could make a time for you to come and visit. We'll have a cup of tea, but now doesn't suit me. Now, obviously, some people, if you are people pleaser, they'll worry that by saying that, you'll be worrying, oh, what will this person think of me? And the consequence of that is, you're not putting yourself first. Now, there may be times when someone knocks on your door and you think, actually, I am tired, but I do actually want to spend time with people. And that's completely fine. It is about making conscious choices. So I'd like you to consider that listening to our emotions can be unfamiliar, but the more we practice that, we get better at it. The more we practice responding to those emotions when it feels appropriate to do so, can actually mean that we're making decisions on a consistent basis that support the body's healing. Anyway, I hope that's given you food for thought. Thanks for watching. Wishing you great health. Bye for now.